So welcome to a class that is all about calm, clear, and stable. And while we'll be moving the body in a range of poses from forward bending and twists, we'll also focus on the breath work, which at times will emphasize the one-to-one breathing. So if you're breathing in for, it's breathing out for as well. And then at other times it will be working towards extending the exhale. So if you've been doing these classes and are familiar with the way that they're being taught, we know that the breath impacts the mind quicker than the body. So really try to become conscious of the breath work and notice the stability in your breath and how that reflects a stability in the mind and the body as well, while we'll also be building physical strength and stability. Let's begin standing. And we'll begin with these simple forward bends. So bringing the hands just below your seat. As you inhale, open the chest, the collarbones wide. As you exhale, tuck the chin in slightly and bend the knees a little bit as you slide the hands down the backs of the legs, coming forward, trying to emphasize a flat back and not how far you can go down. The inhale brings you all the way back up. And then as you exhale, chin in, and start to fold yourself down again. Navel pulling in towards the back body. Inhale brings you up. Let's do this 3 more times. The 3rd time we'll hold it. So moving just with your own unique breath rhythm, wherever it's at today. Ujjayi breath, that slight constriction, the back of the throat in the sinus passages. 1 more time, and we'll go down and hold this time. Navel in as you exhale. You can choose where you want your hands to be, either grabbing onto both ankles or even just letting the hands rest on blocks or on your mat. Still keep the chin tucked in here. And while we remain in the forward fold for a little bit longer, please now start to invite that one-to-one breathing. So wherever your capacity is today, try not to strain it, but have a really steady flow of breath so it feels seamless. Inhaling and exhaling for the same amount. If your nervous system or your mind feels a bit overactive or you feel like you're straining with your breath, just try and ease back a little bit. It might be that you're trying a bit too hard to get too big of a breath. Just try and find that happy medium. Just a couple more breaths. And then your next inhale, slide the hands all the way back up and come back up to standing. Just taking pause when you get to the top. If you feel a little bit lightheaded, allow the chin to just draw in towards the chest and have the gaze open, softly staring at one point in front of you. And now we'll step the left foot back, the right foot forward, and we move into 2 postures here. So take your right hand to your sacrum facing back. If you can't quite see, it looks like this. Just so we can open up the shoulder. And then the left arm will come high. And take an inhale, reach up. As you exhale, tuck the chin in, slight flex in the right front knee, and start to reach forward with the left hand. And then we come into warrior one from here. Inhale, warrior one. Pause, exhale, shoulders slightly forward of the hips. Inhale, back up to straight leg. And now we go through that process again. Exhale, chin in, folding forward over the front leg. Inhale into warrior one. Trying to make your breath seamless, no pauses in the flow. Inhale, straight leg again. 2 more of these. Exhale, fold forward. Reach with that left arm. Don't completely lock out the front right knee. And inhale into warrior one. Pause for the exhale. Gaze is straight ahead. Inhale, straight front leg. Then as you exhale, chin in, fold forward over the front leg. And now come back into warrior one. Shoulders forward of hips. And we stay. 5 breaths. Emphasizing 1-to-1 breathing. And in this moment, can you see if you can get as still as possible, as stable as you can in the body? Stable in your body, breath, and mind. 1 more breath. Your next inhale, reach up. Fold all the way forward over the front leg. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Lower the left hand, turn the feet parallel and just take pause. Eyes staring forward or slightly angled down. Just catching your breath. We'll do the same little routine on the other side. So turn your left toes out, right toes in. Left hand comes to the sacrum, palm facing back. Remember to have that slight little flex in the left knee. Reach up with your right arm. Inhale. And then exhale, chin in, reach forward. Inhale, come into warrior one. Hips forward of the shoulders forward of the hips. Exhale, pause. Inhale, straight leg and fold. Exhale, chin in, reaching with the right arm. Inhale, come into warrior one. We have the shoulders and the hips in this alignment to strengthen the back. So it's not a back bend. Inhale, straight. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come into warrior one. Exhale, pause, gaze is forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, fold over, reaching right arm forward. Inhale, come into warrior one, and this time we hold again for 5 breaths. So the front knee, your left knee, if you're following along, is bent, and the shoulders are just a little bit angled forward of the hips, so we strengthen the lower back. 1-to-1 breathing, so equal breath in and out. Try and be as stable as you can, resolving any little involuntary movements that may be coming up in the body. Inhale, straighten the front leg, fold. Inhale, come all the way back up, reaching with the right arm. And exhale, come back to center, pausing, both feet parallel. We do a fairly similar movement to what we did in that forward bend just at the beginning of class. Now bring the hands to just below your seat. Take an inhale, open the chest. As you exhale, slight bend in the knees. As you fold forward, chin in, and start to slide the hands down the backs of the legs. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Keep the chin in as long as you can to keep the alignment in the back. And now let's see if you can progress to a 5 count. Exhale, chin in, moving down. Inhale, draw the upper arms back first. Chin in, then lift the back and the body comes back up. 6 counts. Exhale. Inhale. Now a 7 count and then an 8 count exhale. One more time. Exhale, fold forward. Stay down and just let the hands relax down onto the mat. You can be resting on fingertips, on blocks or your fists. Try again to still have the chin tucked in towards the chest. So you feel that containment of breath moving along the central channel. If you want your lower back closer to your thighs, you can bend your knees a little bit and just feel how that might provide a little bit more openness to the back body, more access to that area. Staying down here, just place your right hand underneath your face and the left arm up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, reach the left fingertips towards me or the screen, wherever it is. As you exhale, the left arm twists back up vertical. Try and make the weight on your right hand a little lighter. So you inhale, reach forward with the left arm, maybe tracing the fingertips with your eyes if your neck feels safe. And as you exhale, the left arm goes back vertical. Feel a little bit more twist in the navel center. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, the left arm goes vertical. One more time. Inhale. And exhale, left arm vertical. And then switch. Left hand comes down underneath your face and the right arm reaches up. As you inhale, reach forward with the right arm. And as you exhale, navel twists as the arm goes back vertical. Try and keep your hips even here. Inhale, reach forward. The right fingertips reach forward. As you exhale, twist from the navel, even though it's the arm that's moving. 2 more times. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, right arm goes vertical. Inhale. And exhale. Relax the right hand down again. And just for a moment, stay down. And come back to the notion of calm, clear, and stable. Finding the rhythm of one-to-one breathing. And trying to resolve any little involuntary movements that may be going on in the body or even in the mind. Bring the hands to the hips, keep the chin tucked in, flat back as you come all the way back up to standing. The hands relax, pardon me. Eyes open, chin slightly tucked in. Just letting the body reground and restabilize. Just notice how your body's feeling already. Come to step to the front of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. And we just come into chair pose and we're just going to hold it for around 6 to 8 breaths, depending on how long your breaths are. So inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, sink the hips down. And stay. Inhale, feel as though you're reaching further with your fingertips. And as you exhale, can you tuck the tailbone in a little more and the navel in towards the spine? And see what it feels like in your body to be super grounded, super stable, and still continue to have a calm and steady breath. Just 2 more breaths. Inhale, reach up. Keep the slight flex in your knees and exhale, fold all the way forward. Grab your big toes, or if you're even a little bit more flexible, you can place your feet on top of the palms so the hands slide underneath the feet. Keep the chin tucked in. Inhale for a flat back. And exhale, chin in, fold a little further. One-to-one breathing. If your mind keeps getting distracted, try and come back to the focus of the breath and where you're directing that. Release the hands from wherever they are and step back to your downward facing dog. Hips high, hands planted. Knees can be a little bit bent if that feels better for you. Let's move into a little flow. So as you inhale, bring the knees down. all fours. And as you exhale, chin in, bend the elbows as your hips move back towards the heels. Forehead comes down. As you inhale, come all the way back up, all fours, and then exhale to downward facing dog. Hips high. We're going to do that same movement and gradually increase the exhale. So as you inhale, come down to all fours. And then exhale 5 counts as you move back, hips towards your heels. Chakra Vakrasana. Inhale, come up to all fours. And exhale for 5 counts. Hips high, chin in, navel in. Inhale, come down to all fours. Exhale 6 counts as your hips move back. Elbows bend and the forehead meets down towards the mat. Inhale up to all fours. And exhale, hips high, 6 counts. Inhale, come down, all fours. 7 count exhale, hips towards heels. Chakra Vakrasana. Gradually increasing the exhale. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, 7 counts, down dog. Starting to slow down the breath and reflecting that to what we want our mind and our body to do. Inhale, last round. All fours. Exhale, 8 counts. Chin in, hips back towards the heels, elbows bend, and the forehead comes down to the mat or close to the mat. Inhale, all fours. And exhale, 8 counts, and stay. Tuck the chin in. We stay for 5 more breaths. See if you can make your breath count now 8 counts in and 8 counts out. Navel pulling in towards the back body, lifting your hips a little higher. Even feeling your shoulders moving up and away from the ears. Just notice how quickly changing our breath can change the state of our mind, both on the mat and when we leave our practice. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, come down all fours, and exhale, just sit back onto your heels. And just take a moment to pause. You may even like to close the eyes down here, but if they're open, just have a soft gaze at one place in front of you or slightly angled down. Let's now come up onto our knees. So have your knees hip distance apart. And this next movement is a little bit unusual. It doesn't really have a name. So bring your arms out to shoulder level. We're going to go back into what looks like a bit of a Z shape. So as you exhale, bend back, just lean back into the shoulders. You might need to adjust where your hands are. You should feel your abdomen engage pretty much straight away. Your thighs engage, your low back gazes forward. We don't stay here for too long. Just a few more breaths. Strengthen and stabilize. Stable body, stable breath, calm, clear and stable mind. Inhale, come out of it. And again, let's sit back onto our heels. We move into this little movement where the arms come up on inhale. As you exhale, chins in, sweep the arms wide and fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Let's go for 5 counts as we exhale. Chin in, arms sweep wide. Inhale to come up. 6 counts. Exhale, chin in, arms wide. Inhale to come up. And exhale, come down. 7. Inhale, come up. Exhale, 8 counts as you go down. This time just stay down. Forehead down. Arms relaxing where they need to. And again, come back to this sense of stability and calm. Noticing where the body starts to move. Just try and allow it to be as still as possible. Reach the arms out in front of you and come to lie all the way onto your belly. Hands next to the chest, as in like we're going to do cobra pose. The legs are squeezed together. As you inhale, lift just as much chest as you can off the mat. Without using the strength of your hands, just lift as much chest as you can. You'll notice the back engage here. Then exhale, forehead comes down. And now inhale, chest lifts and both legs lift. Squeeze the elbows in, exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Try and get as much chest away from the mat and as much thigh as you can away from the mat. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Squeeze the legs in and now stay up and spread the legs on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze them back in together, not releasing them back down to the mat. Just 3 more times. Inhale, wide. Lift the chest, lift the legs. Exhale, squeeze them back in. Inhale, wide. If you're shaking, it just means there's strength that is building. Exhale, squeeze the legs back in together. Inhale 1 more time. And exhale, squeeze in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, come all the way down. Forehead down. Rest your right cheek on the mat and relax your hands next to the body. Just allow your breath to come back to a stable rhythm. And turn your head to the other side. And now let's turn over onto our backs. Bend your knees so the feet are hip distance apart. And the hands are resting face down next to the side of the body. Again, just take this time to allow the breath, body and mind to restabilize and reestablish itself in calmness and steadiness. Now as you inhale, lift the hips and lift the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, the hands come down and the hips come down. Let's come back to this one-to-one breathing, aiming for anywhere from 5 to 8 counts in and out. Inhale. And exhale. Going with your own flow of breath for the next couple of rounds. The next time you come up into bridge, keep the hips up and then just release the hands down by the side of the body. And if it's comfortable and your shoulders allow for this to happen, you can interlace the fingers underneath the body. We stay up here for another 5 or 6 breaths. Chin slightly, might even slightly lift here. Pushing a little bit into the back of the head, making sure there's a gap where the neck is, so we're not putting any strain on the neck region. One more breath. And release the hands and start to roll the body down, back onto the mat. And just take pause again. Now extend your left leg straight along the mat and bring your right leg vertical and your arms into a T position. Palms face down or face up, whatever feels best for your shoulders. And now as you exhale, bring the right leg across the body on the exhale. Inhale, the right leg comes back up to center. And on the exhale, the right leg moves towards the left. Your gaze might even turn towards the right side to provide more of a spinal twist. Inhale, come back up. Keep the left leg firm. As you exhale, right leg across the body, twisting from the navel center. Inhale, come all the way back up. And this time, exhale, we'll go over and we'll stay. But the goal isn't to get the leg on the floor. It's actually to keep the right leg parallel to the floor and the left leg's engaged. Gaze might be looking to the right. Feel as though you're twisting from the navel center. Strengthening the back, the core, and working with the 1-to-1 breath ratio. Come all the way back up to center on inhale. Exhale, you may just want to adjust yourself in the center again, both knees bent. And slightly shift the hips to the left a little. Extend the right leg flat along the mat, and then the left leg comes vertical. Engage the foot so the toes are flexing towards you. And then as you exhale, left leg goes to the right and your gaze goes to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, left leg goes right. Your face and gaze goes to the left if comfortable. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist. And hold. Right leg is flexed and engaged. The left leg is parallel to the floor. So it's horizontal, it's not on the ground, but it's engaged. So the left toes are flexing towards you and you're using the strength of your core and your back to help you remain here. So staying calm in your posture, making sure your breath is equal and balanced and steady. No breaks or pauses in the breath flow. Inhale, come back up to center. Rebend both knees. You may even wish to draw both of your knees in towards you, rocking a little to massage the lower back. We come up to our peak pose. So we roll over to the side, come up to sitting. And this pose is called Janu Shirshasana. So now bend your right knee and place it the sole of the right foot on the inner left thigh. And do your best to reach forward and grab your left foot. If you need a strap, that's more than okay, or you can bend a little into your left knee as well. And now, inhale, reach along with the spine. Try and keep the chin in, and as you'll see, there's a beautiful straight line on my back. I'm not trying to round. I'm trying to keep the spine long so the breath can be accessed along the central channel of the body. And then as you exhale, chins in, and see if you can fold a little more without rounding. Do this again. So inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold a little more. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold a little more. Spine still long. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, stay. You might be feeling some discomfort in the right hip as it tries to move back a little. Just acknowledge this physical discomfort. It's trying to be resolved in the breath and the mind, bringing more attention to those places. Just a couple more breaths here. Try and make your breath equal in and equal out, one-to-one breathing. We inhale, reach the arms forward, come up, and then just rest a hand on either knee. Just take an adjusting breath here before we change sides. Not rushing between transitions, but trying to stabilize yourself before we shift gears. And now let's change. So right leg is now extended straight, and the left sole of the foot is on the inner right thigh. This side might feel a little different to the first, so if you needed a strap for the first side and not for this, don't be too panicked, or if it's the other way around, reach forward, grab your right foot, and now inhale, lengthen the back, chin is in, and exhale, see if you can fold a little more. Inhale, lengthen the back. Exhale, chin in, fold a little more, keeping the back flat. See if you can even feel more opening the left kidney, left side of the body. Just a few more rounds here. Notice where you may be struggling or feeling challenged physically, mentally or emotionally, and energetically, or where you may even be feeling a sense of ease and stability. And feel that that is reflected directly through your breath. Can you remain calm and stable with one-to-one breathing as you remain in this pose? And some of the great yogis have said that if you hold this pose for over 30 minutes, that you can overcome your fear of death. It may even be longer than that. But it's just a pretty interesting concept of some of the stagnation and toxins that it may be breaking through. Some of the things that are getting lodged up in our body that we may not even realize are there, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Inhale, come all the way back up, reach up. And again, just take pause. It might be feeling a little intense to the left hip and kidney region. You can close your eyes down here. And then extend the left leg, so now both legs are straight, and just bring the hands to the side of the body. Barely any pressure into the hands, but just try and reach up with the crown of the head. Both feet are flexed. Feel your body engaged, the core, the abdomen. And just feel a level of strength and clarity in the spine and the mind. Before we come to Shavasana now, let's bring the hands to interlace and point the fingers forward and come roll down as low as you can to get the shoulder blades as close as you can to the floor without them touching, and then just slightly lift the heels off the mat. So this is a different kind of forward bend, still having the same quality to create stability and calm in the body. There's a lot of shaking going on in my body today. A couple more breaths. And then relax all the way down. You may want to draw the knees in towards you, just to adjust the low back before we move into Shavasana. Any final movements that you might need before you set up for the final pose, before some pranayama and meditation. So now start to make your way into your Shavasana, legs extended, shoulder blades rolling down and away from the ears, and the eyes are closed down. When you come to that place where your body feels adjusted, the eyes are closed, just allow yourself to take a couple of transitioning breaths, nice and full, with the intention to come into a place of complete effortlessness. A place now where you can start to surrender to gravity. Feel the weight of gravity pulling you closer to your mat and to the center of the earth. No reason now to hold on, rather permission to let go through the breath. And feel as though with each exhale, you can just let go a little bit more each time. Feel a sense of weight in both legs. Gravity taking over and you letting go with each exhale. Feel the abdominal organs sinking a little closer towards the back body. Allowing for full perfusion of the organs and the tissues. The pelvis feels open and relaxed. The upper body and the head tension-free. And surrendering to gravity. Take a few more moments here to tune into your breath, not controlling it, but allowing yourself to let go with each exhale. Please now just allow your awareness to come back to the sounds in your room, the sound of my voice and the presence of your body resting on the mat. Have the intention with your next breath to allow the inhale to fill all the body, all the way down to the feet and the tips of the fingertips. And then you may even wish to start to move the fingers and the toes a little, rolling wrists and ankles, and in your own time, just roll to your right side. Take a couple of breaths there. And then make your way to a seated position for some pranayama and meditation. Just make sure that your spine is tall, head, neck, and spine are in line with the hips. And there's no sort of physical effort that will take you out of your practice. And if that means you need to be in a chair, just arrange yourself now to get as comfortable as you can, so that you can be as effortless in your pranayama and meditation. And what we'll be working with today is, again, just refocusing on the one-to-one breath, which will progress into some mental alternate nostril breathing, which will then lead us into a meditation at the third eye center, which is all about creating calmness and overriding all of the mental confusion or chatter that goes on in the brain. So now established in your seat, start to remember your experience in the asana, in the movement part of the practice where we've just come from. And allow your breath to now engage in Ujjayi breath, slight constriction at the back of the throat, the sinus and the sinus passages. And see if you can make it an equal breath in and an equal breath out. Just breathing to about half of your capacity. So it should feel like there's some effort, but it's mostly effortless. Just slightly audible to really only you. Have the intention to smooth out any roughness in the breath, any pauses that might be happening at the top of the inhale or at the end of the exhale. Just try and make it completely seamless. And even if your inhale or exhale feels like it's easier to go longer than one or the other, just try and make them the same length. It's only about 50% of your breath capacity. Keeping your eyes closed and still the same patterning of one-to-one breathing. The next time you inhale, feel, sense, or visualize the breath moving up the left nostril and descending through the right, then ascending through the right and descending through the left, continuing with that pattern as you inhale in through the left nostril and out the right. No pauses or breaks in the flow. Inhale right and exhale left. Continue in your own rhythm. See if when you inhale and you reach the peak or the top of the inhale, feel as though it draws up towards the midbrain, the center of the brain. That's the apex of the breath. And as you exhale, it moves out the opposite nostril. And as you inhale back through that nostril, feel again like the breath is drawing up into the middle of the brain. And just continue there for another few moments, establishing your own one-to-one breathing. Please don't strain the eyes behind the eyelids to look up towards the midbrain, but rather feel like it's a drawing back the attention towards the center of the brain. You may even now be sensing more light or presence in this space. Just continue with the alternate nostril breathing mentally, just for another few rounds. Establishing that place in the midbrain, a place of clarity, calmness, steadiness. When you breathe out of your left nostril, just allow the technique to relax with the breath. But stay aware and present to the space in the midbrain. Feeling, sensing, or perceiving a light or presence in this space. Allowing yourself to just rest in that space. And if your mind becomes distracted in the silence and the stillness, it's just an opportunity for you to return back to a more focused breath. Coming back to the awareness on the breath. And again, once you re-establish your place in the midbrain, you can then allow the breath to be at ease. No particular focus on shaping the breath. And please now, again, just bring your attention back to the space that you're in. You're more than welcome to switch off the recording and continue in your meditation. But if you're ready to return, just take a couple of adjusting deep breaths. You may want to bring the hands to center and just briskly rub the palms together. And place them over the area that needs the most attention, whether that be your eyes, your belly, or soft downward strokes on the body. You choose. And before rushing out of the practice, just re-establish yourself in the calmness, stillness, and steadiness that you've created. And try and take that with you as you move off your mat and into your day or to your night. Namaste. This is a great time to journal or just sit in the space that you are and not feel like you need to rush off. So take your time in doing that.